Welcome to Discipline Daily, where we put discipline first. Do you look up to anyone? Do you have any mentors? Do you have any idols? In this episode, we're going to go over who our mentors are, who we idolize, and how we use them to help us succeed in what we are trying to accomplish. So if you don't have anybody that you look up to that doesn't align with the goals that you're trying to do, in this episode, we're going to help you get on your way. If you're new to the podcast, we warm up with a little bit of personal development talk between me and Nick, because in this podcast, we're documenting our self-improvement journey. So we do that first. So if you want to skip to the actual meat of the episode, we're going to have a timestamp on the description, and we're also going to have it in the video. And then we'll finish off with some Twitter news by Cal San Cal.
Can't wait.
Yeah, right. So what's up, Nick? How you doing? What are you working on, dude?
I'm doing all right, Kyle. Just got done with a long day of work, and now we're here doing the podcast. So I'm stoked on that. As for what I've been working on, it's just every day is just trying to get better 1%, and that's all you can do. Just by reading and trying to find ways to better yourself.
What are you reading right now?
So I got two books that I'm reading right now. The one that I'm actually reading is called. Can you guess it?
Wow.
American Conspiracies by Jesse Ventura. So
Oh,
it's it's more of a fun book that I'm reading, more of a, kind of just a interesting book. And then I'm listening to an audiobook at work. It's called The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. And that book is actually a very interesting book. I want to try to learn how we interact with people and how we interact with ourselves, and try to be better at that, because I think that's one of my problems is I get kind of, I wouldn't say nervous, but I get in my own head when I'm talking to people. And instead of trying to maybe listen to them, or instead of trying to understand what they're trying to tell me, I'm constantly in my head thinking, what are they thinking about me? How am I coming off to them? Things like that. So I really want to work on that. That's something that's going to be that's probably going to be something that I have to work on for my whole life, just because I'm not good at it. And I've seen some people, I have some friends that are just so good at talking to people. They can talk to anybody. They have so many friends. They're good salespeople because they can just become friends with you right away. And it's something that I've never had. And it's something that I've always wanted to have. So that's one thing that I'm constantly working on, and I'm constantly trying to get better at it. So I can just be a better person, a better communicator, a better listener, and all around just a better person.
Dang, that's pretty awesome that you know that, though, because a lot of people might not even know that they're bad at something like that. So that's great that you're working on that.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing with personal development is you have to understand and be aware of your flaws and your problems so that you can work on fixing it. You got to It's just like working out. If you have a weakness, that's the thing you got to spend most of your time on. You can't spend most of your time doing your strengths because you're just wasting time. Those muscles will grow easy. So you got to spend a lot of time figuring out the ones that you're bad at. And it's almost, I would say, it's kind of a blessing to be bad at certain things, because you're going to put more time into figuring out those things you're bad at than you would on things that are just come naturally to you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like, I feel like today people are afraid to admit the things that they're bad at, you know, and you can't do that. You got to admit, hey, I got a problem with this, and then you got to tackle it head on. And the best way to do that is by tackling it every single day, like we're doing, is, finding what we're bad at, being aware of it, and then working on it every single day. That's huge.
Yeah, I think if you're not where you want to be in your life, it's your fault. And there's something that's keeping you from being there. And I think one of my biggest problems is, like I said, it's hard for me to communicate with people sometimes because I get either nervous or I just don't know what to say. And so part of me has always felt if I could become a person that could be a real people person and talk to people and just be good at communicating and understanding what they're saying, that would be like a superpower for me. So that's what I'm working on. What about you? You've been telling me about this secret little thing you've been working on.
Yeah, I found it on Twitter though, so I'm gonna save it for the Twitter news.
Okay. What
But
about any books you've been reading?
so the book I'm reading right now is Never Finished by David Goggins. I'm going Goggins back to back, man. I just finished Can't Hurt Me, and now I'm doing Never Finish by David Goggins. It's his new book. I think I'm about 250 pages in. The book's like 366 pages. It's not bad. He kind of repeats himself a little bit, and then he gets into something. I kind of don't want to spoil it if you haven't read it, but it's pretty crazy. He does a race that's really long.
Is it that 100-mile race that he always talks about?
Bro, it's more. It's like 240 miles.
Jeez.
It's a race that Cameron Haynes did. It's in Moab, Utah.
Oh yeah.
And it's pretty gnarly, man. So he's doing that, but I don't know. Steph's actually reading Can't Hurt Me right now, and she likes it a lot, but she thinks he's a little like I don't know the word for it, like egotistical or something.
Yeah. I kind of got that from him a little bit, but the message is there still. So
Yeah. I
you gotta with these books that we're reading, it's like you kind of gotta take what you can take from them, and then
yeah,
there's some things where you just gotta be like, okay, well, that's
that's
just
what I was trying to tell her. I'm like, dude, as I don't care even if he's lying about some things. I mean, the dude's a badass. Like he was a Navy SEAL. I mean, a lot of the stuff he did do was true. So if he's just filling some of the parts up with like a little bit of, I don't really care. It's pretty awesome. So
it's just
I,
inspiration. It keeps you inspired to keep kicking ass.
exactly, man. And he's basically one of my mentors.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so I'm reading that book right now. And then I've just been trying to mainly work on my workouts. Um, like yesterday, I did 350 push-ups. So for me, that was pretty good. The most I've done so far was 602. So I'm trying to beat that number. But I did body squats and lunges today. I think I ended up doing 200 lunges, which was pretty cool. I did one set where I did 100 lunges at once. It's pretty fun, man. I like those high rep body weight exercises.
Do you feel like when you do those that you get a good workout, like you feel sore, or do you feel like it's actually working? Because you've been doing those for quite a while. Did you feel like it's actually putting muscle on you, or is it something that's more of a just kind of maintenance, like it's just keeping what you already have?
Um, I don't think it's putting muscle on me, dude. I think it's building other things like endurance. I think I'm getting muscular endurance big time. And cardiovascular wise is going through the roof. Like my cardio is crazy. I mean, if you're doing that many push-ups a lot, like almost every day, your cardio is going to be insane.
Yeah. And it
So
probably has other benefits too. It's probably more practical for people that, just want to be strong enough to like go on a ride with their or a walk with their kids, or, maybe just play around with their kids on the jungle gym or something, so they're not tired. It doesn't tire them out. It just gives you a
yeah,
lot more.
yeah, you're not going to turn into a bodybuilder by doing, body weight calisthenics. You need the added weight to
Yeah.
actually really grow your muscles.
You need
So
that
it's more,
intensity.
yeah, it's more for endurance and just getting cut up a little. It helps with that. You're not going to get huge, but you will get in great shape.
Yeah. I think that's like where one of the problems that people they have this misconception that if you're doing just calisthenics, like you can get a really good body with calisthenics, but it's not going to make you like as big as you want to be. Like you're going to eventually need to add some weight to that or some intensity somehow by doing, some kind of like cluster sets or going to all out failure or something like that.
Yeah, like you could definitely throw in some supersets and stuff like that. Like do, body squats and then drop down into push-ups or even do, burpees. But yeah, I'm starting to figure out, yeah, I'm gonna have to do something, man, because I guess what I have to start doing is I have to start mixing up the push-ups a little bit more. I've been doing just the standard narrow grip push-ups pretty much the whole time. I got to start going into some other stuff like diamond push-ups and wide grip and incline, decline, just mix it up, do the archer push-ups.
Or maybe try to find a way to add some weight to your back somehow with like a weighted backpack or something to where it just makes it a little bit more challenging.
I
You
could
have
I
a, you
could
have a weighted backpack too, so
yeah, I got a few. I got that vest right back there. Um and I got a ruck pack. I got plenty of stuff, so I just have to bring it to work, which would be the hard part.
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, that's what I've been working on, man. Just my trying to dial in my workouts this week, reading my books, and I'm still journaling, man. I haven't missed one day of journaling, dude, and I love it. I think it's by far my favorite habit, dude.
Really?
Yeah. And then that's why I'm excited about this podcast too, because we are basically doing a video
Like a
journal.
video journal, yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that I kind of want to get into too, is doing the journaling.
Dude, you got to, I'm telling you, because it's really cool because I can't wait to see how I progress through the writing too. Because right now my writing's not that great. Like I'm
Yeah.
reading it and it's kind of garbage. Every once in a while I'll make some good points, but I
It's
can't
hard
wait
to
till
read.
I can't wait till the time where I can read it, man. And I'm like, dang, this is a cool little book.
Yeah. It's like I've tried to journal before, and for some reason, it's like my brain is going so fast that my hand can't write it down as fast. I'm trying to write it out, but I'm like I'm going too fast, and it becomes like scribbles. But I'm like I don't want to lose this thought. I don't want to lose this thought, so I'm trying to get it down as fast as I can, but it's taking too long, and then that gets me like in my head, and then it gets me like I'm getting frustrated, and that makes me not want to do it. So that's one of those things where it probably gets better over time. The more you do it, though, the more you do it, the better your writing gets. Maybe it slows down your brain too. Helps you to slow down your brain, slow down your thinking.
Yeah, man. Dude, I'm telling you, you got to do it. Go to that one. I think it's the goals episode. Go to that one, man. And then you can follow those prompts that Dickie Bush guy has. That'll help you have it. And what I like to do too, if I think of a really good question, I'll write it down like tonight. I'll write it down for tomorrow morning. And then I wake up to that question. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's why I like Twitter so much, man, because when I have a good thought, I just tweet it out, So I'm telling you, I would start with journaling. I know you love it, man, and it's really cool to document all that stuff. Especially you give it to your kids later on, man. Your kids would read it. It's really cool stuff.
Just got to carve out a little window of time. It's when you start adding in all these things, it becomes like, okay, I have it becomes so many things that it becomes like, oh man, like if one little thing's off, if we work a little bit too late, it's like it just pushes everything back,
Yeah,
becomes so hard.
it
But it's
does,
good.
man.
That's good though. That teaches you how to, just be resilient and just be like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna do it. You know.
Exactly. Yep.
So
All right, man. You want to get into the meat of this episode?
yeah, let's do it.
All right, dude. You still have your list of mentors, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have it with me, but I pretty much know in my head who they are anyway.
Yeah, right. Me too. So, who would your top 5 mentors slash idols? Who would they be? Besides the obvious ones like family and stuff like that.
I would say my number one growing up was probably Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I'm sure is a lot of people's. I mean, he looked like the typical male that he wanted to be, just strong and big and just charismatic. So he was pretty much number one. I basically like devoured like all of his books. everything I could read from him. I mean, I was almost an obsession because I was like a skinny kid and I just wanted to get, bigger and not be so skinny anymore. So that was my number one. Probably, till this day is kind of not my number one anymore, but I keep him up there because he just had such a big, you know, thing in my
Dude,
life.
well,
So,
I don't even have him on my list, which is crazy because I got probably like 25 people on here.
and I wouldn't say that I have so many people like as mentors because they're not people that I like. I don't really interact with them, but they're people that I look up to. Um, I think another person that I really liked was Robert Greene because he wrote so many cool books about like just like I'm listening to his book right now on the laws of human nature, and he just goes so deep into things, and that's something that I've always like wondered about. I've always been so curious as to how the human mind works. I remember reading his book, The 50th Law, which was from the 48 Laws of Power. It was like the sequel book. I read that first just because I was a 50 Cent fan. So I was like, okay, I'm going to read this. And it was just diving into fear and like, how you got to like not be afraid of things. And I just remember like then listening to the 48 Laws of Power. And like that to me, it was like, wow, like it's almost to a point where it's kind of makes you feel bad in a way. It makes you feel like it's kind of messed up, but it's like that's the way life is. That's the way life life is. It's not always going to be. I feel like the TV and Disney Channel and all these like Disney things that you grow up with teach you that the world's all roses and everybody's all nice, nobody lies, nobody does shady stuff. But these books were kind of the first thing that like made me go, oh no, like the world is actually can be a bad place, So I think those two were like the biggest ones. Um,
You probably don't need to do five. Five's kind of a lot. You do top three.
I would say, like a newer one that I've kind of gotten into was, like Rollo Tomasi was a pretty good one that I read, which kind of changed my look on relationships and girls and stuff because I grew up with all women. So for me, I was always taught that you need to be nice to women, you need to give them everything and like never question them and just kind of almost be like subservient to them. And in my life that pretty much got me nowhere. I mean, it gets most people nowhere. And reading his book was the first time I kind of opened my eyes to like how men and women dynamics really happen. And I never thought of it in that way. And I think, like reading his book is kind of a little bit misogynistic. I don't really fully believe everything he says, but it kind of opened my eyes to the way that like those dynamics work. So that was one thing that like really was a huge epiphany in my life, kind of changed my life for the better. Um, so those are the people that I look up to because it really helps you to just like change your life almost, to help you better your life. And I mean, there's other people too, like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs and all these guys who they're not technically mentors, but you look up to them because, they've done things in their life that are unbelievable almost. It's crazy like how they did it. So it's interesting, and it's interesting to try to like learn from them.
Yeah. Yeah. Elon Musk is my number one, dude. And I consider him a mentor because I download, this was what I was gonna say that people can do. I download basically every piece of information that guy has, and he gives a lot out. And
Yeah.
I think he does that on purpose. He's got a ton of books out, so you read all his books. You can watch interviews. You can watch all his interviews. And I follow him on Twitter, and he tweets basically nonstop. So you can really become a part of him and download everything that he has. And, he's just a great guy to look up to. The things he does is amazing. And he works harder than anyone, man. He works 24/7. So he's definitely one of my idols. And he's somebody I look up to and I strive to be like. And that's the thing. If you want to be successful, you need to have these really good idols and people you look up to. And this is what I was trying to say with this. It's more important more now than ever by having people to look up to, because just go ask anybody, like, hey, who do you look up to? Who's your mentors, idols? Do you have any idols? I guarantee majority of people don't even have an answer for that. And if they did, it'd probably be some TikTok star or that just dances. Like, come on, you got to have mentors and idols who align with the goals you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to be successful, you need to follow successful people. So Elon Musk is my number one. Then number two would be Greg Plitt. This guy, he changed my life, man. And the way he works out is crazy. You're familiar with Greg Plitt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he tragically died trying to outrun a train. That's how gnarly this guy was, man. And if you watch his old workouts, this guy would kill himself in the gym. And then that's what I used to do, man. When I was really on it, I would just kill myself in the gym, just like Greg Plitt, because I was literally just thinking, what would Greg Plitt do? Well, he would freaking do a bench and then he'd run over there and start doing pull-ups like crazy. So that's another really good thing that you could do with mentorships or idols or whatever, is take that 1,000-foot view of yourself, right? Hover above yourself and view yourself and ask yourself, what would Greg Plitt do in this situation? What would Elon Musk do in this situation, right? So these are ways that you can really become a better person by having the right idols and the right mentors in place and looking up to these guys.
Yep.
So Greg Plitt, awesome guy. Look into him, guys. He's still got some workouts on YouTube that he's one motivating guy. That's for sure. So, and when I was watching him, man, I got in the best shape of my life. That's when I was starting to do the physique competitions and all that stuff. So when I want to get crazy, I'll throw on one of his videos and he'll get me going.
Just don't chase a train.
Yeah. I mean,
try not to chase that train.
I like the spirit, but yeah, I don't advise that.
Be safe, everyone.
Yeah. So Greg Plitt's my number two. And then my number three, it's kind of, I mean, if I had to do the top three, it's kind of hard. It'd be I'm torn between Jocko.
Oh yeah, Jocko's on my list too. And Tony Robbins.
And Jocko.
Yeah, you have to put Tony Robbins though, dude.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's hard. Jocko, and I like Ryan Holiday, dude.
Ryan Holiday. See, that's where it's hard to like number them in like 1 to 3 order. It's like I have so many that I look up to, so many people. So it's hard to put like who's my number one. If I was like actually ranking it, I mean, still I would say Arnold Schwarzenegger's number one, just because I looked up to him since I was like, I don't even know, probably 14.
Bro, and look how he's kind of transformed your life. Like look how big of a part working out is to you. Yeah. See what that does, man? Like it's super important. And look how many, like we have some bad, like I'll just go through a quick list of who I got, right? It's Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Andy Frisella, Cameron Hanes, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Robert Kiyosaki, John Daly, Tiger Woods, Kathy Wood, Andrew Huberman, David Goggins, Jocko, Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett, Ryan Holiday, Devin Larratt, Greg Plitt, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Nikola Tesla, Marilyn Vos Savant, Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius has got to be up there too, dude.
Yeah, right. Marcus Aurelius is probably number one. But that's what I'm saying. Think if you have all those idols, right? You have them on your phone as a list. It's people you look up to, right? Read books on everybody, right? Download every piece of information that all these people have. Strive to be like your idols. You're going to find success.
I think Marcus Aurelius has to be, for me, number two, because that's just, I mean, honestly, maybe number one, because it kind of shifts through your life, you know, like right now, like, or just in the past, like I read Rollo Tomassi's book. So that kind of changed my life in the more recent times, you know, so they're more up there right now, but throughout my whole life, that's going to change. But I think Marcus Aurelius probably has to be up there with like number one.
Yeah. Overall life.
Yeah,
You might be right.
I think so, because it's just it just encapsulates. Is that a word? Encapsulates.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. It encapsulates everything, just your whole life, everything. So yeah, that's probably got to be number one. But see, this is cool because we don't have like an actual mentor in the flesh. Like, I mean, I didn't. My dad, he passed away when I was 17, so I didn't really get to know him that well in my adult age, and I didn't really have a lot of male figures around me. I had a stepdad, but for him, it was probably hard to try to tell me what to do or be a mentor to me because, he's not my dad. And, he did his best. But when you don't have these people to be there to mentor you, then you really have to like find them through books and find them through,
Fair enough.
things that change your life.
All right, dude. So you have anything else on mentors or idols or who you look up to?
I think you could find things too from the past. It's like I talked about my dad, and he passed away. In the last card that he left me, a birthday card, he was sick, and he left me a card, and it said "son," and then you open up the card, and it has a picture of a boy on a tricycle, and it says, "Life's a trip, enjoy the ride." And I think that like last card that he left me was such a life, like a life message to me, which was just, hey, like your life is going to be a trip. Just enjoy the ride to that destination. Enjoy the ride. Like, don't get so focused on the destination. And I think that's the biggest thing that we can all take away is like we all have a mountain to climb, and we all just focus on getting to the top of this mountain. But at the end of the day, like, don't forget about the journey getting up the mountain. Enjoy that journey getting up the mountain. And if you do that, then eventually you'll get there and it won't even be work.
Wow, that's a great message, man. That's some powerful stuff. That's a good little message that your dad left. That's pretty amazing.
I know. And it's crazy because, I think he knew at the time it was going to be his last birthday with me. I mean, I'm not sure, but just the fact that he left that card, it just goes to show you like you can be a mentor in someone's life in just the smallest ways. You can affect somebody's life in just the smallest way can affect somebody's life for the rest of their life. And you may not even know it.
Wow, that's awesome, dude. Super stoked. I'm glad we did this one. I'm because I think this is really necessary, man. I guarantee because you could just go up to anybody and just ask them, "Hey, who do you look up to?" And they're gonna go, "What?" Like, and then most time it's gonna be celebrities or who knows? They might not even know, man. It's not good. So
And I think if you're lucky enough or you have the means, you should get a coach or get somebody to help mentor you, somebody that you trust, somebody that you look up to. If you have the means to pay for them to be your coach or to help you out or get a life coach, sometimes that helps. I know even the most successful people have talked about having a life coach or having somebody who's there, if they're having a bad day, if they're not feeling something or they don't know what to do, they can call this person and have them tell them like, hey, no, man, like you can do it. You can do this, or here's a way to look at it. So it like kind of brings you out of whatever's troubling you.
hmm. Well, shoot. I guess we could be people's life coaches too.
Yeah. It
So
is.
there you go. You got two life coaches right here for free. All right, man. So now let's get into some Twitter news by
The
Cal
good
State.
stuff.
Wow.
The good stuff.
Yeah. This is the stuff you guys are all waiting for. All right. So I do a poll every week now on my Twitter. I release it on Wednesday. So and then we'll go over the results here. All right. So the poll that I ran was I think we've talked about this before, but do you make a protein shake every day? Do you, Nick?
2 times a day.
Okay. Yeah. So he would put yes. So there's four options. I probably should have only put yes or no, but I put yes, no, what is protein, and nobody cares. So 13% of people put yes. So basically the rest are all no. 13% out of 38 votes.
Or they could be nobody cares.
Well, that's yeah, that's true. Well, so 18% was nobody cares.
Oh, okay.
I should probably not put that. I'm not going to put stuff like that next time. I'll have better polls, so stay tuned for that. But it's still wild to me that not that many people take protein shakes every day.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
some people could be savages and just eat a crap ton of meat.
that's not the case. Like, dude, protein's hard. That's why I had to go back to eating protein shakes or drinking protein shakes.
Yeah, protein is hard.
So that's one that's still crazy to me. So I might have to re-ask this poll at another point because I'm still really actually I'm gonna ask how many grams of protein most people get. Something like that along those lines. So yeah, if you're not following me on Twitter, make sure you follow me, Calisthenic Kyle. I do a poll every Wednesday. So if you want to be a part of the show, answer that poll. All right. So now we'll get into some other stuff that I thought was pretty interesting. Okay, so this is from the world of statistics. Over 95% of farm-raised salmon are deaf.
Deaf?
Yeah,
Like they can't hear?
I can't hear. 95%. Yeah,
Can
right?
fish hear anyway? They're underwater, dude. Doesn't everything sound like
No, so I put don't need much when you're just swimming around in circles in your own feces.
Yeah, dude. Who needs ears when you get to swim all day?
I know, man. Have you seen what they do to those farm-raised salmon, man?
I try not to.
Dude, horrible. You won't want to eat fish after this. I watched this. I've literally watched one show on Netflix in the past 2 years, and it was Seaspiracy. You should probably watch it. It's pretty crazy.
I haven't seen it, but I saw it on Netflix.
Bro, it's pretty good.
It's gonna make me not want to eat salmon anymore.
Yes.
Come on, I love
But
salmon.
you'll still eat it. Like I watched it. I'm still gonna eat it because I
It's like
need it.
that when you find out where hot dogs come from or how they're made, and you're like, I don't want to eat that no more, but then you still eat it on 4th of July.
Exactly. You'll still eat it, but it just sucks, man, because these farm-raised salmon, like, dude, salmon are crazy. They're beast fish, man. They swim upstream. They're strong as hell. They're supposed to be in rivers, man. But I get it. We have to like do this so we can all eat, right? But man, these salmons are just swimming in circles, dude, all of them together, and they're pooping and peeing basically, so they're literally just swimming in their in their own feces the whole time, man. So
Well,
I mean,
hopefully they wash them before we eat them.
I think it's gonna be in the meat, man, because they're just eating the poop.
Maybe that's why I used to never like salmon. I had to kind of force myself to like salmon.
Well, maybe, yeah, just
like it now.
make sure you don't get farm raised, man.
The farm raised tastes better than that. The wild caught probably those feces.
Yeah, maybe that's why. All right, so that was that. All right, and then this was from the world of engineering. The founder of Gmail, Paul, I'm not even going to say that, claims that ChatGPT can kill Google in 2 years.
Oh yeah, Google is tripping.
Right?
They're trying to get their own thing out as fast as they can, dude. They're tripping.
Dude, that's wild.
I
2
heard
years?
that on Lex Friedman and Joe Rogan's podcast where they're talking about how Google's just tripping out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a bunch of dorks. They got all that data, dude. What are you guys sitting on? You're sitting on all the data in the world, dude. What were they doing? They're too busy getting massages and stuff, dude.
Yeah. Too busy getting lattes and doing
Unbelievable.
yoga.
That's what happens, man. You sit around and you're not innovating, you'll get disrupted. So there you go.
Well, or you just buy them out.
Yeah, right. Why don't they do that? Oh, wait, Microsoft did, dude.
Oh, Microsoft has it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so there you go.
Bill
Good
Gates.
job. Good job, Google.
You can't escape Bill Gates, dude.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll do that for a conspiracy show.
Yeah, right. All right, so this is the thing that I said kind of
Is this the one? Are we finally on it? Because you've been teasing me with this for like, I don't know, a while now.
Yeah. Dude, this is the one, man. It kind of saved my life.
That's what you said. And I'm like, okay, what is this, dude? I'm interested.
I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's like I'm gonna throw up what it is, but It's these movements, man. And you remember how I had a bad shoulder, right?
Mhm.
I've had a bad, I mean, I don't say I have a bad shoulder, but I have bad shoulder, and I've had like a knot or something in my neck forever, right? But these movements that you do, dude, my shoulder feels amazing. I have zero pain in my shoulder now. The knot in my neck is kind of gone.
Really?
So it's a series of movements. You
Can you demonstrate them?
kind of you have to lean forward and you do you do a Y
Oh, yeah.
and then a T and then a W. And you do 3 sets, 15 reps. So that's the first one, right? And then you lay on your stomach and you do Supermans. But I like to lay on my stomach and then um just have your hands straight out like a T and then just raise it up. But the key is having your chest on the ground. Dude, my
Have you
shoulder feels amazing now.
have you seen, the knees over toes guy? He did, like, a kind of a thing just like that, but he puts himself on, one of those benches that you do the glute ham bench, and he basically does that same thing, but he does it with dumbbells in his hand, and he lifts them up in a Y, and he kinda, like, contracts his back, and he holds it
Yeah,
there. So that might be like doing both of those at one time in a way.
cool. I'll have to try that, man. Like, dude, I feel amazing. My neck pain's gone away. My shoulder feels great. I think I was doing too much pushing, man. I've been doing so many dang push-ups. I do pull-ups and stuff, but I'm not doing enough back work. So I think it was making my shoulder even worse. But man, I feel great now.
Yeah, you're like pulling your shoulders being pulled this way because you're not
Mhm.
doing enough rowing exercises.
Yeah, I'd be like this. So
Yeah. One thing because I have like really bad knots in my back for the past like 2 or 3 weeks, I've been using a lacrosse ball on the wall and then putting it on my back and just rolling out those knots. And it's actually after, I haven't ever given it that long, never given it 3 full weeks of doing it every day for like 5 minutes at a time each side. But it's actually starting to work. I think those knots are starting to loosen up. So I'm actually stoked on that big time.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you say you do it on the wall. I like doing it on the ground, man. I use a big skills ball and I go on the ground and man, it's the deep tissue massage you get from that, man. And you want to make that hurt and you just chase the pain, you'll
Yeah.
feel better.
I like the wall because I can really lean into it and really like roll it and move it because I put it in a sock. Put it in a sock, you can go
Oh,
like
you
this
hold it?
and you can adjust it, and then you can really push into it. So it's even more than just your body weight.
Okay, I might have to try that because you keep talking about this ball sock thing that you
You
got.
can
So
get it right on the knot and just use your leg power to just drive it in, and then you can like roll it around. It's actually like sometimes it hurts really bad.
all right. So there you go, people. So if you have shoulder problems, make sure you check this out and just try it out and leave a comment below if it helps you. It helped me. It literally, I think the very first day, either the first day or the second day I did these exercises, I feel amazing now. So try it out.
We're giving you guys all kinds of value.
Yeah, right.
So if
So
you guys could just tell a friend if they have some problems with their back or shoulders or anything, you know where to send them.
yep, exactly, guys. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it out with a friend. I think this was a pretty good episode, man. How about you?
Another banger, dude.
Yeah, right?
We're just gonna keep banging them out.
Yeah. All right, man. Pain is good.
Pain is great.